as to why that one classmate of yours always gets high scores in exams? Maybe, not only did you wonder, but have guessed reasons as to how he manages it. Maybe you've even thought, baka matalino rin mga magulang nito. Swertihan lang pala talaga. Or, paano kaya mag-aral yung taong yun? Now, before we get sidetracked, these questions of yours may be answered by what will follow. The question, where does knowledge come from, is what the nature-nurture debate is trying to answer. If this is the case, we have to hear out the cases of the two parties. Naturists claim that knowledge comes from biological processes and mechanisms. There are actually a subgroup known as biological determinists who claim that certain behaviors are controlled by the DNA. And evidence of this would be the case for Down's syndrome, where the actions are because of a genetic mutation. However, this claim of biological determinists was eventually criticized because schizophrenia was discovered to have nothing to do with genes at all. On the other hand, nurturists argue that knowledge comes from experiences and socializations. The same with naturists. There is also a subgroup which, in the case of nurturists, known as blank slates. Blank slates claim that our mind are like blank slates, which eventually get filled up by our experiences and socializations. However, other nurturists argue that if our minds are really like blank slates, then we should not have the ability to acquire knowledge in the first place since our mind is just blank. So what's next? Well, with researches and studies, naturists and nurturists have come to an agreement that both biology and experiences are essential in the acquisition of knowledge. Now wait, does this mean things really did come to an end? Does this also mean that this video will be short by 2 minutes in reaching the required length? Well, hold your horses, because apparently there came a conflict between both sides, which bring us to the situation time. Suppose you have two balls in front of you, one red and one green. Obviously, we can tell what's red and what's green. Our ability to distinguish colors is said to be due to the different responses of human visual system cells to different colors. Because of this, our ability to distinguish colors is considered to be an innate capacity. Now, suppose you play basketball, and since you engage in such sport, you know that one must be able to run, track moving objects, clutch around objects, and shoot. Now, it is said that such ability is learned because human capacities are put into new use. The conflict then is, which human capacities are innate, and which are those that are learned? A good example of what naturists and nurturists are fighting about is language. Naturists claim that we have certain biological mechanisms that are designed for language, whereas nurturists object to them, saying that there are really biological mechanisms that enables us to speak, but that does not mean that they are designed for language. In summary, naturists and nurturists agree that both biology and experiences are essential in the acquisition of knowledge, but they are arguing on whether a capacity is innate or learned, because apparently there exists innate capacities